Hey everyone, my name is Logan West, and this is my future self at 65 discussion video. um, First off, I am a senior wrapping up his last few classes this summer to go ahead and get out of here and go get some experience, and then in 27 we'll be leaving for fall admissions for my grad school program. So first off, I want to start with, after watching a few classmates' videos, the podcast, and, kind of diving into this topic myself, I really want to emphasize on the fact that at 65, I think first and foremost, the individual I want to be known for is a family man, a provider, a caregiver, a role model, and so forth for my family, my future wife, my future kids. I want them to be able to be, I want to be someone they can look up to and, try and push themselves to achieve, and morals and standards and all these other aspects. I would like to be an individual that they can take from. I think something that is massive and that I've always carried with me, and my father told me one day, and he said, our job is to do better, do a little better each time. And that can be taken in so many different routes. And he really emphasized on each generation, do a little better each time. Change the trajectory of whatever circumstance, do a little better, provide a little more, put a little more effort, just try to do better each time. And I think that really highlights on, type of person I want to be, being able to have a father figure I can look up to and see in these different aspects I truly strive for and hope, in which I know more than anything that will be the type of individual I am and I'll be known for. The next is my career. So my career path in which I'm pursuing is healthcare administration. With my grad school program, I am going to obtain my MHA at VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, which I'm very ecstatic for, excited to take that next step in life. But long-term speaking, I'm pursuing the CFO route, Chief Financial Officer for healthcare as a whole and enterprises and hospitals. I think, taking the right steps and always, never being complacent and okay with where I'm at in life and always trying to strive in the human capital aspect and so forth will allow me to achieve those goals that I've set for myself and my family is kind of written out with me. I think that's super important. I just want to get to a stage where, my family needs are taken care of and I can be, that ties into either monetary or so forth, whichever department it falls under. I can be the caregiver that I know I do want to be. The next aspect I really want to jump into that I saw from a classmate and when he emphasized on it is like being a community man. I'm not sure what that holds because I've always been an individual that, doesn't really have a community presence. I have a church that I partake in and have a presence at, but I haven't dipped much into Kennesaw since being here for the last 3 years. So I think that would be something I would really like to dip into, an obligation. I feel like it's super important, giving back to the community and providing for what people may need and just allowing people that help or so forth, whichever it may be. And I think that's super important. I think as a moral obligation, we should be able to provide back what we can, whether it be, time, effort, sweat, doing jobs for the community, giving back money, donations, so forth, I think it's super important that that partakes in everyone's life if they're able to, of course. And I definitely want to emphasize that on for myself. The next aspect I really want to kind of jump at is when listening to the podcast, you kind of emphasized on with your actions today, looking at your future self at 65 as just another person you run into. How would you judge your actions on another person? And at the end of the day, me at 65 is just another person. Like, the actions I'm doing now, saving, financially being smart and like literate, morally, how I treat other people, individuals, and so forth. Like, I really hope that I can follow my own moral compass, and because I know the type of individual I am and the morals that I carry, from a religious aspect and just as a human being aspect. I feel like that's super important to my actions, because those dictate the type of person I am. I hope my actions, for those around me and in all senses, are allow someone to transcribe me as a human being that they can come to, especially like with my current group of people that I'm surrounded by, being away from family up here. I've really took the time over the 3 years I've been here and just built a community of my own, with my friends, my roommates, as people that are always going to push me to do better. And so I hope I carry that idealism, going forward, always being there to help people do better, be better, grow better, and just being the best human being I feel like I can be. I know that goes in so many different ways, but I think we all carry a moral, kind of sheet that we follow in different aspects and what's good or bad. And I just hope that, I'm able to, set that out for myself and the path that I'm taking and stick to it. I want to say thank you. I'm so excited to knock out my final few courses this summer, and I wish everyone has a great summer course. Thank you.